into our journaling session, I just wanted to give you a quick update. Still, my life is a little bit of a hot mess. Nothing terrible. I've just been working outside of the home a lot, still physically, and it's wearing me out, but there's light at the end of the tunnel. We're almost done. Maybe by the end of this week, which is great news. Even though I'm exhausted and I can hardly think straight at this point, I still wanted to pop on and say hi to you guys and do this journaling session with you, which is my mindfulness journaling. I am using the hashtag mindful journaling. So if you want to join in, you can. If you do tag me and I don't see your video and I don't comment on it, because I will always comment on your video, that means maybe the tag didn't go right. Feel free to just comment on one of my videos and say, hey, I did a video, come over to my channel. And I am more than happy to do that, because if you're participating, I definitely want to be part of that with you. I pulled up on my computer the actual prompt for this week, so I want to read it out loud. It says, focus on your body. Do you notice any aches or pains? Well, I've been working with my body, so I do. What are they telling you about mental distress? Do you need to make any behavior changes? Do you have mental resistance to these changes? Okay, I'm gonna have to just take some time to allow myself to really think about these questions, because, sort of like on the surface just right now, I'm like, I don't know. So let me do that. I'll get back to you guys. Oh, and I want to show my friend Carol. Carol, check out my hats. It's gone camping. And Carol loves to camp, so I knew she would like my hat. My sister Andy bought this for me, actually, because she knows I love camping as well. All right, friends. So I thought I didn't really have much to write about. And that's the incredible thing about journaling and giving yourself time to calm down and think about the questions. And believe me when I tell you, I could have written a lot more. As I'm reading, I might interject if some more thoughts and feelings or examples even come to my mind. I might do that. There was a little tag in my beautiful book given to me by my friend Carol at Recrafted by Carol that she made, and it's gorgeous. There was a tag inside, which she made from book pages, which I had actually just recently done, and she said she liked how I did that, and I said, oh, you should try it. Well, obviously she did. And maybe subconsciously that's where I got the idea, was seeing her do it, and I totally had forgotten that she had done that. So anyway, the book page tag was in the book that she gave me, the journal that she gave me. So I wrote, focusing on my body, any aches or pains. So I basically took the prompts and sort of shortened them. Is that causing mental distress? And then, do I need to make any behavioral changes? And do I have resistance to these changes? So here I go with my journaling. I do have some pain, but not nearly as much as I used to. And that's because I actually quit my job, my other job. I was outside a lot. I think I have a heat intolerance, and I was outside a lot, and I just couldn't take it anymore. I just couldn't take it anymore. Since I quit that job, my body is not nearly, oh my gosh, not nearly as uncomfortable and inflamed. Now, we're going to be getting into summer here pretty soon in Florida. We're going to see how I do with the summertime. But, at least I don't have to work outside. And if I want to go, get some exercise, I can do that in the evening when it's cooling off, or I can hop in my swimming pool or whatever. So then it says, is it causing, it is causing much less mental distress than it once did. Yes, because I started living in fear. So I had this body pain and this inflammation, and I was like living in fear over it. Like, I didn't know what was wrong with me, and you know how it just snowballs. And so that is gone now. And I'm so grateful that that fear is gone. I know that it takes baby steps to get ourselves back to health, but I feel that I'm on the road, and I think that's very positive. Now I'm going to get into the behavioral changes. Behavioral changes would be to set boundaries with what I should and should not do with my body. For example, overexerting myself. I do want to interject again. As When I was young, I was really, really strong. I've always been very athletic, lifted weights, been on the swim team, just always athletic, very, very strong. And I would overexert myself. And then sort of as you age and your body changes, you still think that you can overexert yourself, or somebody might ask you for help and you just dive in and do it. But I have to not allow myself to do that because I need to protect myself. And we're going to get into that in just a second. Saying no to others if they need my help, but it is not something I should do. So that's one of the boundaries. Setting those boundaries are really hard for me because I was never allowed to set boundaries as a child. I want to get deeper into this, you guys. Setting boundaries sometimes causes me guilt, yet it should not. But as an abused child, that is what I know. So I have to remind myself that it's okay to set them. And if someone does not like it, that is not my problem, and they can take their abuse somewhere else. So, as a child, I was abused on many levels. And that strips so many things away from you as a child. It strips so much away from you mentally, not just physically, but mentally. And I wasn't allowed to set boundaries. I wasn't allowed to say no. I wasn't allowed to set any boundaries. We'll just leave it at that. And so you grow up not realizing that it's actually okay to set boundaries. So then you live this life for a long time until you realize that you need to change things and, get counseling and work on these things. But you've already taught the people in your life that you don't set boundaries. And I learned a long time ago in counseling that we teach people how to treat us, okay? And that is true. The older relationships in my life, these people are used to one person who doesn't know how to set boundaries. Then all of a sudden you get some counseling, you get therapy, you start setting boundaries, you start taking care of yourself, you start being mentally healthy, and you start setting those boundaries, and all of a sudden, whoa, that's not okay. Like they're looking at you like, whoa, what is wrong with you? What's up with that? Well, it's because that they knew the other person and they don't like that you're setting boundaries now. I have to remind myself that go pound sand, okay? We're not doing that anymore. And if you don't like it, you can just get out of my life. And I have to do that. And it's hard. It's hard, you guys. It's just hard on so many levels. And, but it's important for me to do that. So, that being said, this new thing that we're all hearing about self-love, blah, blah, blah. At first I'm like, what is that all about? But yeah, yes, that's what it's all about. It's about taking care of yourself. And it's about knowing that it's okay to take care of yourself. And so I don't like to leave you guys on a negative note. And this is not negative. Self-expression is not negative. And that's, I'm catching myself saying that what I just shared with you was negative. It's not. But see, that's like the old records in my brain. Because, when you live around with people that don't want to hear anything negative, they don't want to hear anything real, okay? You feel uncomfortable, like you did something wrong. And those days are gone. I am not going to feel like I did something wrong for expressing myself, for sharing the truth. Okay, so it's deep, you guys. I mean, I could talk for hours on this. It runs so deep, and there's so many layers of emotions that go with it. But self-love, yes. Thumbs up to self-love, because that's what it is. It's taking care of oneself and knowing that you are enough. You yourself are enough. You're enough. And you should take care of yourselves. We all should take care of ourselves. If we need to set boundaries, we need to set boundaries. If we need to just, treat ourselves nice, and that's what we have to do. And get the old tapes out of our head. The old you know, whether it's abusers, and whether that's family or bullies or whatever it is, we need to let it go, because there are parts of that we can let go. Parts of it stays with us, but we need to take our power back and know that they can't hurt us. They can't hurt us anymore because we're setting those boundaries, and you can't hurt me because no. And so, you guys, I'm sorry, it's such a rant, it's so much, and I apologize. No, I don't apologize. I'm not apologizing. I'm not apologizing for sharing my feelings or sharing the truth. Not apologizing. So, if you don't like it, you can go to a different channel. I mean, like, that's how it has to be, right? Because if I'm not being honest, I'm not helping anyone, and I'm certainly not helping myself. So, in conclusion, it's okay to set boundaries. And I want you guys to know that, and I have to remind myself of that. All right, my friends, next week is a real humdinger. I read it and I'm like, whew, that's tough. That's gonna be tough for me. But I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna share it. And, if you can handle it, I hope you join in. Thanks for watching. See you soon.